All right, I'm I'm on today, everybody. Wow, another stream that I've actually alerted people about. Wow. usually, usually I don't alert people about this stuff. I'm gonna see if I think the audio's low enough where you're not gonna hear it, but let me go check it. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. It's very low. Uh, this is Float Along, Fill Your Lungs, from King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, specifically from London 19, which is one of their bootleg records, and that's why I'm playing it because it's a bootleg, and it's not like super copyright. I don't even think there are copyrights for it necessarily. I've uploaded it to YouTube, and there's just nothing. There's no it just nothing. This is actually from my. I made a little bootleg that I still want to release, like on physically, called "The Brief Life History of King Gizzard." You can look at it on the. You can hear it in all on the second channel, and you can also download it there. I did leave downloads for it. It's going to transition into work this time now, but um, yeah, I want to release it. I had the idea of doing vinyl. That went through with the Gizzard bootleg. And then I thought recently, uh, maybe I'll just maybe I'll just put it on reel to reel because I got a reel to reel machine. Uh, so I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Uh, do a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2021 nominees list, tier list. I like that idea. Let me see if there's a tier list template for it or not. There's certain people on there I haven't really listened to, so I wouldn't include them necessarily, but or I'm not gonna rank them because I don't know how big they'll be. I'll go through the list because there's not a template for it. I'm too lazy to make a template for it, but uh, let me pull up the nominees here. All right, let me show it off. This. So I haven't done this in a very long time. In very long. I mean, last time I did this, I played Minecraft. Uh, here's here's the page. Don't mind my my upper tabs. It's just whatever. What's up, Spook Show? So, all right, I'm just gonna tell my opinions on all of these, I guess, because I'm not gonna rank them or anything. Uh, I'll try to though. I'll tell you my top picks for the Rock Hall. My top picks are gonna be if I had to pick like five out of the out of these, I'm gonna go Iron Maiden because there's literally like no metal in the Rock Hall, and Iron Maiden is deserving of an induction. Foo Fighters, who are probably gonna get in anyway. What's up, Connor? Uh, yeah, Foo Fighters are probably gonna get in. I think they deserve it as well. I mean, they've been present for the last how many years now? 25, I think. I think they deserve it. Um, three. I'm gonna go for number three. I'm gonna go Rage Against the Machine. Again, another one that's stayed relevant for decades now. Uh, they're not my favorite band of all time, but they deserve it. I think. Four, Carol King is my pick. Uh, at the Rock Hall, they actually have like little things where you can. They had like things you could ask like, oh, you should put this person up for induction, and I was the one who I put Carol King as my pick, because she's in as a songwriter. She's got the Ahmet Ertgun Award, I believe. I don't remember. But that doesn't account for her solo career and things like that. And Tapestry alone should get her in the Rock Hall. So I'm gonna go with her as the fourth. Five is gonna be tough because I could either go like Kate Bush or Todd Rundgren, who I've wanted for a while, um, or Tina Turner, I think, deserves it too. It's like close to a tie. New York Dolls deserves it. I'm gonna just look. I Devo, Devo, I think will be my fifth pick. Just they've been up. I think they've been up like a few amount of times now. Uh, Same with Rage. Both have been up for induction before. So I'm gonna go with Devo is my last pick, and I just like how I'd like to see I would like to see more kind of weird bands like Devo get in. Like I think that would be cool. It's no Resonance. I would love to see the Resonance get in though. That would be insane and impossible. I don't think the Resonance will ever make it in the Rock Hall. Uh, but I would love it. But yeah, I would like to see more weird acts. If Frank Zappa can get in, Devo can get in. Uh, Everybody else, Tina Turner, deserving. Jay Z, I don't listen to Jay Z. I don't want to make an opinion. I don't want to say like, he, big enough name, but I don't know. I don't know enough about him. You know, and of course I can get into a whole discussion of what is rock and whatever. But that was almost a video. Was just because I don't know if you guys know this, but the 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 qualifications for a Rock Hall inductee are so vague that literally most artists can get in. Like literally most like name a random band and they could probably get in. Even polka bands I think could get in. Like literally like Franz Liszt could get in. Franz Liszt should be in considering he's the one that, you know, Listomania was kind of the precursor to, you know, the Beatlemania and the whole Elvis like craze and stuff like that. I think Liszt should get in, but that's something they would never allow to get in. And I think Weird Al needs to be in. See, Weird Al should be in. No joke, Weird Al should be in. I would love that. There's so many artists I would want in. A lot of prog artists like King Crimson and Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and all the metal artists like Megadeth, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden. I want them to get in. Yeah, there's a lot of prog and metal bands that got screwed over. Past Foo Fighters, Carole King, Go Go's. I like the Go Go's. But I don't think I don't know if they'll ever get in. I like them, but I don't know how much of an influence they've had overall. I'm sure they've had influence, but I just don't know. Mary J. Blige, I don't listen too much, so I'm not gonna make the argument or anything. Are the Misfits in? Are they? I don't think they are. I don't think the Misfits got in. I Not a lot of punk bands got in either. The Dead Kennedys aren't in. They should be, though. I could see that being a total crazy thing. Connor put earlier, didn't the Sex Pistols call the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame a piss stain on their legacy? Yep. And they didn't even show up. They didn't show up for inductions. They just sent a letter, and that was it. They didn't show up for that. What are your thoughts on a dose of Buckley? I don't know what that is. Sorry. Well, I'll look up what a dose of Buckley is. A dose of Buckley. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've never watched anything from a dose of Buckley. So if they're talking about rant comedy dying and stuff like that, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Scumbags of the internet. Yeah, I've never watched them, but yeah, Dionne Warwick, Mary J. Blige. I haven't listened to Shaka Khan. I think Shaka Khan's got the influence. I could see that. I could see that happening. She's been up for induction too. LL Cool J, influence. Yep. So yeah, I can see it happening. Todd Rundgren, New York Dolls. I would like to see him in. Fela Kuti's winning the poll right now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, sure, why not? Influential. And Kate Bush, yeah, I think so. But it'll never happen because she's a prog artist, or progressive, or different the rock cult just hates a lot of things that are just different. Um, it sucks. It sucks. It really sucks. All right, we're gonna we're gonna do some tier lists now. Tenacious D are awesome. They are awesome. I saw them live at Riot Fest 2015. I believe it was 2015. Modest Mouse was at that. Modest Mouse was playing that show too, and who else was there? Snoop Dogg was there. Snoop Dogg. I've told the story on Twitter before, but Snoop Dogg came on really late, maybe like 20, 30 minutes late. After accidental racist, LL Cool J better not get anything. Yeah, I mean, that's a stain on the legacy. But yeah, Snoop Dogg came on like 20, 30 minutes late, and yeah, it was. He got on, started doing stuff. I think he did a few covers, and then I think he did covers. I could have sworn he did NWA for some reason. But I remember him doing Gin and Juice. And this was before Modest Mouse was supposed to come on. And yeah, he's going and he's like, we're here late. I'm not getting off this stage. Whatever. I don't remember what he said exactly, but he didn't want to leave the stage. He was like angry about it. So he started playing a song, and then maybe like a minute into the song, all the lights on the stage go out. They cut power to the entire stage, and yeah, it was just they cut the power, and maybe 5 minutes later, Modest Mouse comes on, which with a song called "Night on the Sun," which is, it's got this haunting intro to it. I have it. Hold on, I'll play you the intro a little bit. "Night on the Sun's one of my favorite songs ever. Listen to this. Yeah, they all right, that's enough of that. They come on stage with that as everyone's in like complete darkness. I mean, pitch black. Yeah, that was a surreal but amazing experience. I love that band. I should talk about Modest Mouse in one of my videos one day. Modest Mouse needs to be in a Hall of Fame if they aren't already. They're never gonna get in. I feel they're never gonna get in. I feel like they're never gonna. They deserve it. I think they should for the influence and just. I just love that band in general, but I can't see it happening. I'd love that though. We're on our way to Inductions for them. That's only like a few years away. I don't know how Isaac would feel about it either. Isaac's kind of just I'm just putting on the music again, but Isaac's kind of you have to catch him in the right mood kind of guy. I met him once and he was nice to me, but I've heard stories about other things. But from the time I met him, he was very cool. Giorgio Moroder, ring a bell? No, it does not. It sounds familiar, but it does not, like, I can't picture. All right, let's get to the tier list. I've procrastinated enough. Anyway, I think the first one I wanted to do was this Frank Zappa one. I think this is a lot of his albums. I don't think it's everything, but I think it's a lot. And you can take this as my, like, kind of my getting into Zappa list. Zappa's a hard artist to get into, and a controversial artist to get into. As much as I love him, there's some stuff he does that I just can't stand, for one reason or another. And I thought, because he's such a hard artist to get into, I thought, hey, I'll rank mine, and I think it's a good place to start. My mom ran into Chad Kroeger from Nickelback. Oh, Jesus! He had two women around his arm. That doesn't surprise me. He seems like someone who would. I mean, how could you resist? It's the guy from Nickelback. Italian composer, songwriter, and record producer. That's what I was thinking. Well, what did he do? Dubbed the father of disco. Huh. I never got into disco, so stuff like that kind of passes over my head. Anyway, let's get to the list. I'm gonna make a tier just for stuff I haven't heard because there are a few. Um, Also, I think this video will get re-uploaded. My other one couldn't because of copyrights. My other stream, and it sucked because I liked that. I liked the stream a lot. But all right. First off, what is that? This is a live album from '69, I think. I've heard parts of it. Check out the Orange Lumber Truck or Orange County Lumber Truck from this, which is chaotic. It's a two-part thing. It originally appeared on Weasels Rip My Flesh, and it's alright. It's cool. Civilization, Phase 3. Still, I haven't heard the full thing. So, it's another... Well, this wasn't a live album. This was the last record Zappa ever worked on. And it's using a thing called... It's not Synclaver, is it? Sorry. Synclaver. Oh, it was the Synclaver. Alright. So the Synclaver is this synth thing that it's like a synthesizer, but you can program things into it, and Zappa really loved it, and we'll talk about a record he did with it soon. Composed the music for Scarface, Neverending Story, Midnight Express, and more. Ah, okay, I see. Next is the best band you ever heard in your life. I believe that's what that's called. Another one I have not heard. Early on, or not. This isn't early on. This is just live stuff that I believe that was released after his death. Oh no, that's Make a Jazz Noise Here, which is, I think, instrumentals. Haven't heard it. All right, first one. Browser reveal. Yeah, I use Firefox. So what? So what? What are you gonna do? I'm not using Chrome. Never using Chrome. It was horrible. I hate Chrome. Next, Frank Zappa meets the Mothers of Prevention. This I actually really like this record. I'm gonna go B because it has some lower points to me, but it is really good. On this, I actually used a little bit of it, I believe, in wait, no, I didn't. I might have. I don't remember. I'd have to look again. But I believe I used some of that in my Moral Panic video. Mothers Meets the Mothers of Prevention was released after the PMRC hearing, if I'm not mistaken, which Zappa took part in. And it has topics of censorship all over that record. It's listen to Porn Wars. I think that's the best way for you to understand the mind space of that record. Porn Wars is a 9-minute collage of PMRC clips with Synclaver music over it, and it's fantastic. Yeah, I think it's essential hearing for Frank Zappa fans or people trying to get into it. It's strange, but I dig it. I really do dig it. Next is The Yellow Shark, another one I have not heard. Next is London Symphony Orchestra, I haven't heard. Those are both orchestral albums. Next is Jazz from Hell. That's another B tier. That was, once again, another Synclaver album. That stuff I know got used in my Moral Panic video. G-Spot Tornado and Night School stand out. Just chaotic, interesting electronic pieces. Beltway Bandits, I believe, is on there too. That's also really good. If you're in the weird synthesizer stuff, go check it out. I'm gonna say it's better than Prevention. It's cool. It's a good listen. Go check it out. Yeah, we're missing some records on here, but Thingfish is next. This is an album I hate. I cannot stand it. Thingfish is a rock opera, not a rock opera. It's a literal opera. It was supposed to be a Broadway show. Zappa tried to fund it, and it never happened. Instead, he released it as a record, a 3 LP box set. I believe. which has everything, all the instructions on how to do it and everything. He put a lot of time and effort into it. However, I don't think it lands exactly. Um, its topics, it deals with a lot of controversial stuff that's more on the conspiracy side than anything. It's not a fun listen. It really isn't. Um, Maybe I'll do a video on it one day, but it's controversial. I don't even think Zappa fans really dig it either. Um, so yeah, I wouldn't. I That might be the lowest ranking Zappa album I've heard. And I have heard it. I've heard it once or twice because I tried to understand it. I can't. It's beyond me. All right, next is Joe's Garage, the other 3 LP box in the Zappa discography. No, it wasn't. Well, it wasn't a box. It was just a record released Act One on its own, and then 2 and 3 together as a double LP. Joe's Garage. That's one I'm mixed on. I'm gonna go A. I'm gonna go A. I don't think there's certain songs on this that just fail for me. Dong Work for Yuta stands out to me as just eh. Um, what else? Lucille's Messed My Mind Up goes on way too long. Why Does It Hurt When I Pee goes on too long. But it has low points, but there's also some really great points in the record. Packard Goose is a really great pushback against like rock journalism. And it's just a good song. I think it goes on a little too long, but it's very good. The title track is great. The first song on the record, called The Central Scrutinizer, is a great setup, and it's also got a great beat on it. Why is the funny mustache man wearing grease paint and being racist? I have no clue. That's one of the worst parts of the record, is because it has a horrible cover. I don't know if it's... I think it's him just trying to be controversial. I genuinely think that. Though, I guess maybe it's supposed to be because he works in a garage, but that's not good enough reasoning. It's a horrible cover, and I think you could have picked a ton of other things that would have represented it more. If you look in the inner sleeve of Joe Garage, there's actually some amazing art of, like, American families and stuff like that. And it kind of sets up the whole conservative viewpoint of the rock opera, which I haven't even talked about the story in this. Joe is in a band, and in like the future, they want to ban music, and because they see it as like the government sees it as like a pathway to crimes and horrible stuff. It's like, it's just like so basically they outlaw music. Joe gets put in jail. Well, no, he doesn't get put in. Look, it's a complicated story. They try to ban music. Joe meets a girl named Mary. All this stuff happens there. Ends up going and sleeping with another person, and from there it devolves slowly and slowly. He goes to like this church, and it's like he finds himself attracted to like toaster ovens and stuff. It's weird in the most Zappa way possible, and music gets banned at the end. It's weird, but it works sometimes. It works. If you want any proof of like how good of a guitarist he is too, check out Watermelon and Easter Hay, which is a 8-minute track, which is just guitar. It's just him soloing, and it's genuinely one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. It's it's followed. It's everything around it is weird Zappa zany goofy songs, but that one piece is so good. I mean, literally, maybe one of the greatest guitar things ever. It's genuinely touching. It's a beautiful song. So yeah, Joe's Garage has its highs, has its lows. It's low when it's low, but it has a lot of highs. And it's a funny enough record for Zappa. Just goofy moments on that record that I kind of dig. But next, orchestral favorites. This was, I believe, a contractual obligation record. 1979 was a weird time for Zappa because he was getting off of a label and going on to another. And there's two records that were released that were supposed, they were just contractual. Um, and I believe Orchestral Favorites is one of them. I'll go see. I'll go see on it. It's not bad, but it's not something I return to much. There's not much to say about it outside of that. Sleep Dirt, on the other hand, is an like jazzier kind of thing. It's hard to explain. Jazz fusion, I guess. And this was a contractual obligation. I talked about it in a very old video where I talked about underrated albums. I love that record. It was released on the day I was born, in like 1979. So yeah, go check it out. It's a good one. Um, yeah, it's just a good record. Go check it out. Chic Your Booty. Um, I don't really dig that record. It has good moments though. It's I'm gonna go B tier, but it's not my favorite. Um, it's just like it's the most poppy Zappa record I've heard. If that makes sense. It's just it's there. It's got good songs. Flakes comes to mind. I love the Bob Dylan bridge on that, and the whole ending section with Zappa making fun of people who don't want to work. Um, I don't hate Chic. I just don't dig it as much as other records. Um, yeah, at the end of Flakes though, he's like, "I am a moron," and this. I love that section. Broken Hearts, I love. I'm So Cute, I love. Um, I love those little things like whatever happened to all the fun in the world. I love how chaotic that is. Baby Snakes is good. Dancing Fool is great. Um, but there's stuff on there that like Yo Mama I'm not a huge fan of, or City of Tiny Lights, though I know a lot of people like it, or like Rubber Shirt I think is on there. I think that's what that song's called. Um, yeah, no, I don't dig it as much as other records, and I know a lot of people love it. I just don't care for it. Tinseltown's another one that's just forgettable. It's not much there. I do like the Peaches 3, which is a rendition of Peaches and Regalia from Hot Rats, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, I think it's good. Um, it's good but forgettable. Bobby Brown, yeah, Bobby. I didn't even talk about Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown is his highest charting single ever, if I'm not mistaken. It's his one hit, pretty much. No, no, it is not. He's got two hits. The other one we'll talk about, but very later on in the list. Um, but yeah, I don't think Chic is much. Um, here we go. Next is that's the first S tier for me. This is You Are What You Is. Um, I don't think it's his strongest per se, but it is consistently good. Um, like genuinely consistently good. Edgy, I think edgy is a good word for it at times. The title track's definitely got an edge. And anybody who's heard that song knows what I'm talking about there. Uh, I don't know if it was worth it. I really don't know. The rest of the song's good though. That's just that one part is questionable. But there's so much on that record that I think is fantastic. Like 80s is a low point for Zappa, but this record is really really good. It starts great. Teenage Wind, which is kind of like a Police parody. Harder Than Your Husband, which is a country song. Doreen is just like an amazing rock song. Goblin Girl is just raunchy, but it's fun. It's a fun little song. I'm not a fan of the third Sinister Footwear. That's not as great, but what else is that? Oh, next side is Society Pages, which is great. I'm a Beautiful Guy, which is great. Um, Beauty Knows No Pain, which ends with this like amazing vocal harmonic section, which is awesome. And a little like tease into the next song. This album all transitions into each other. Charlie's Enormous Mouth, which is great. Any Downers, which is great. Conehead, which has it's all right, but the solo is cool on that. You Are What You Is, which I think is good, but there's that one moment that just sticks out to me and comes off as just edgy. Um, and then after that, you have a few songs like Dumb All Over, which is a great jab at religion and just how it's the hive mind of it. Not hive mind, but just the mentality of, religious wars and things like that. It's a great song. Um, the third and fourth side kind of deal with religion. You also had like The Meek Shall Inherit Nothing, which is one of my all-time favorite Zappa songs. A lot of these are my favorites, but and then Heavenly Bank Account, which is a great piece about just televangelists, these scummy televangelists. It's great. Um, from there, the record kind of dies down a bit with songs like Jumbo Go Away, and just like Drafted Again, which just doesn't stick with me. If Only She Woulda as well. But most of this record is so good that it's worth a listen. Just be ready for the edginess of the title track. It's one of the only Zappa songs with a music video, by the way. Man from Utopia is D tier. Not much on that record. Cocaine Decisions is a very good song, though. We're Only In It For The Money. That's an S tier. Oh, I'm going to rank it higher than You Are What You Is. We're Only In It For The Money is a, not parody, but a satire of 60s culture, both in terms of the hippies and the overly conservative, adults and parents who were scared of the youth. Um, it shows the ugliness of both sides of it, the people who got into the hippie thing for the money and the adults who in their conservative ways cause harm to people around them, in serious harm. I think it's a really great record. It's not really about choosing sides as much as it is about calling out the just the horribleness of both, the hidden truths, I guess. I think it's really good. This is the best band you never heard in your life. I have not heard I have not heard it, which is fitting. But next is Freak Out. That is an A. I'm gonna put it there. Freak Out was the first Mothers of Invention record, the first Zappa record. And it's really good. Um, it's very of its time because what it's going for is a conceptual thing about the music industry and stuff like that. Blah 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 blah. It's just 60s culture. But it doesn't take that extra step like We're Only In It For like does. Um, so yeah, it's good, and there's certain things on that amaze me for the time. This was again released 1966. Um, Listen to the end of that record. The last side of that record is the song "The Return of the Son of Monster Magnet," which is this music concrete piece, and it's great. Think Revolution 9, but weirder, like more Zappa-ish, and it predates that song by 2 years. It's amazing. It got released on a major label. I believe it was released on a major label or a label. It's amazing it got released. That's all I'm gonna say for that time. Um, it's a good record. Go check it out. Absolutely Free. I'm gonna put it between the two. Absolutely Free was the follow up to Freak Out. I believe it was the second record. It's good, but I'm not. It's not one I return to a lot. Um, yeah, I don't have too much to say about it. It has some good stuff on there. Plastic People, Call Any Vegetable stand out. Uh, yeah, I think it's good. Lumpy Gravy, that's another S tier for me. That's gonna go there. Lumpy Gravy is Frank Zappa's first project, or no, it wasn't. It wasn't on his own. It was with an orchestra. I don't know how to say it, pronounce it. Sorry, but yeah, Lumpy Gravy is a big orchestral kind of thing, and it's really, really good. Um, there's really nothing controversial about it or anything. It's just a very Zappa orchestral album, with motifs that you'll see in other songs over the Zappa discography. Um, it's really good. Go check it out if that sounds interesting to you. Cruising with Ruben and the Jets, that's gonna be under that. Cruising with is like kind of like a callback album to 50s music. Freak Out did it as well, and I think it did it better. But Cruisin' is more focused on that stuff. It's all right. But again, like all the C tier, it's not something I return to a lot. Uncle Meat, I kind of dig Uncle Meat. I've grown to like it more. Uncle Meat is just kind of a lot of different things. It's orchestral, it's goofy. If you ever heard the MF Doom track, Meat Grinder, you'll know the song Sleeping in a Jar, which is sampled in that track, which is also a very good song. But yeah, it's just kind of a weird record. Experimental, for sure. I believe that record ends with King Kong, which is like 5 songs that are the same over like 20 minutes, and they change. It's kind of cool. Go check it out, I guess. If that sounds interesting to you. It's weird. Hot Rats. Hot Rats, I'm gonna go A tier, above Joe's. Hot Rats is a really, really, really good record that I think you should check out. Jazz fusion. Go check it out. It's very cool. Listen to like Peaches and Regalia, Willie the Pimp, which features Captain Beefheart, which is just crazy. Like Little Umbrellas and Gumbo Variation. All of those songs are good. Do I come back to it though a lot though? Not really. It's a very good album. Listen to the whole thing. You don't know. I'm gonna put it up in S tier. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Hot Rat's very, very good. Go check it out. It has a little bit of a low point thing, but yeah, it's just it's a very, very good record. Burt Weenie Sandwich, that's that low for me. Not bad, but it is that I barely ever listen to that. It doesn't even stand out to me. The biggest song off of that was WPLJ, I believe. Yeah, it doesn't stick with me. Weasels Rip My Flesh. That is, I'm gonna put it a little higher than Uncle Meat, just because. No, they're tied. Honestly, they're tied. Yeah, they're tied. They both have the same ideas. So if you've heard Uncle Meat, you'll kind of know what Weasels is. Weasels has the cooler art though. I gotta say, Weasel has the guy ripping his flesh with a weasel. I dig that art. Mothers Fillmore 1971. That's gonna go. I'm gonna put it there. Another one that I just don't return to it, but there are good songs on that. Mud Shark. What's a Girl Doing? I believe What's a Girl Like You Doing in a Place Like This. I think that's what that song's called. That's cool. Yeah, Tears Began to Fall, Peaches and Regalia, a live version of that. Yeah, yeah, go, don't go check that out. It's not essential. Same with Chunga's Revenge. Not essential, but, I like a good amount of songs on that. Transylvania Boogie. Charlena is awesome. That's one of my favorites. Tell Me You Love Me is awesome. Would You Go All the Way is just a strangely sympathetic song for Zappa. Usually he doesn't like. It's making like it's definitely a song against sexist behavior. And for a guy who just jokes a lot about sex and stuff, it's interesting to hear him straight up go after it. It's also just an insanely catchy song. I don't think he was necessarily sexist. I just think he had a lot of very female sex humor. It's hard to explain. Just go listen to Dynamo Hum. You'll know what I'm talking about. So it's cool to hear that. It's cool to hear such a hey, you're an asshole kind of thing. 200 Motels. This was the soundtrack to his movie, which is not that good, but um, I'm gonna put it under Chic. There's some really cool stuff on this record, but overall, it's not my favorite. Um, Listen to the dental hygiene dilemma. It starts with I'm stealing the towels, dental hygiene, and does this kind of life look interesting to you? It's this branching thing about, I believe, the bassist for the Mothers and just the craziness of it. 200 Motels is about touring. That's its whole thing. So you get all these weird sort of ideas and things like that. Centerville, and Would You Like a Snack? Lonesome Cowboy Burt. Strictly Gentile is the greatest ending to a Zappa record, or one of them. Um, yeah, just listen to some of this stuff. They didn't release it digitally though, and that's a real shame. Um, but above that, I'm gonna put Just Another Band from L.A., which is a live record. Um, it's cool. It's a cool live record. The highlight of this is the 22-minute song "Billy the Mountain," about Billy and this small wooden wife Ethel, which is just both funny and just really, really well put together. It's not a song in the traditional sense, more a musical play kind of thing. Um, and it's good. A lot of commentary on just the culture of the time, and just overall, it's just an interesting track to hear. Very of its time, and it's a very California track. Eddie Are You Kidding's also on this album, and I like that. So yeah, that's a good record. Waka Jawaka, yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna put it there. It's good. Again, not one I come back to much. It has a lot in common with the next album I'm gonna rank, which is called The Grand Wazoo. It's jazz fusion. There you go. Grand Wazoo, I will put. There we go. I'll put it there. Grand Wazoo is my favorite jazz fusion thing. Check it out. It's wonky, but it's really good. First song in there is for Kelvin, and his next two Hitchhikers, which is just this weird, weird vocal thing going on there too, with like, where did they go when they? It's weird, but it's very, very good. Next is the title track, which is just fantastic. Cletus Auritus Auritus is after that, which is just, it sounds like cartoon music. I love it. Eat That Question is next, which has got some great organ parts in there, and it ends with Blessed Relief, which is just a perfect track. You know what? I'm putting it above You Are What You Is. Because there's genuinely not a bad song on that record. It's not. It doesn't have a narrative line in the same way We're Only in It for the Money does, but it really shouldn't have, because it's a jazz fusion instrumental record. It's great. Go check it out. Another S tier here. This is Overnight Sensation. This was his biggest record, I think, or his most well-known and celebrated one. Songs like Dynamo Hum, Zombie Woof, I'm the Slime. Every song in here is great. Montana. And it also has the Ikettes on it, and they do a fantastic job. I prefer to hear We're Only in It, but only by like a little bit. And I prefer Grand Wazoo just a little bit. Genuinely a great record though. Very Zappa, and to me, that if you're gonna listen to Zappa, you have to start with that record, and you have to start with the next record as well, which is Apostrophe, which is a little bit worse to me by the end, but is really just good. This is where Don't Eat the Yellow Snow comes from, which is a part of a 4-part suite about just craziness. It's very, very good. Listen to St. Alfonso's Pancake Breakfast and Father Oblivion from that. Just amazing. Cosmic Debris is great. Um, then it gets a little weird on side B, a little funky and not as good. Extrantifical 4, I can't speak. Extrantifical 4 is just, it's not right. It's doing some time signature stuff, which is kind of cool, but I don't dig it. Next is the title track Apostrophe, which has Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker of Cream. And it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool little song, but from there, Uncle Ramus is very good. One of my favorite Zappa tracks, and it ends on Stinkfoot, which I'm not a huge fan of. So it starts super strong for me, but kind of dies down. Still good though. I'm gonna have to say the same thing about Roxy and Elsewhere, but I'd prefer Roxy and Elsewhere. Roxy is a live record, 2 LP set, which has some of the most, like, the greatest orchestral kind of parts. It's all just amazing. Listen to Village of the Sun, Echidna's Arf, Don't You Ever Watch That Thing, Cheapness. Just listen to that record. It's very, very cool. Dummy Up's cool too. It's just a fun little track. Yeah, no, Roxy is just a really, really good live record. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is my all-time favorite Zappa record. It's One Size Fits All. Yeah. Sorry, I was going to say something and then I noticed I already said it, but One Size Fits All is just that good of a record where I don't think there's anything bad on that. It starts with Inca Roads, which is just awesome. 9 minutes of just, like, mind-bending xylophone parts and stuff. Go check it out. Can't Afford No Shoes. It's just a fun little song. Sofa Number One's great. Oh, jeez. Pajama People is great. Literally, I mean, I can't even describe how much I love that record. Go check it out. Next is, what is that record called? That's with Captain Beefheart. What's it called? Bongo Fury. That's what it's called. Yeah, not my favorite. I'm gonna put it down here with Cruisin'. I'll put it above Cruisin'. Or that. Yeah, that's probably the right placement for it. Certain songs stand out, but overall, it is not my favorite. Captain Beefheart's cool though. Zoot Allures, I'm gonna go there. Zoot Allures is I don't really care for it as much as other Zappa records. You have the opening song's great. It starts good. Wind Up Working in the Gas Station is just a lot of fun. Then you have Black Napkins, which is great. Then The Torture Never Stops, which is great. But outside of that, there's not a lot that I come back to with that record. I'm going to kind of fast forward the rest of these because a lot of these are kind of just meh. Zappa in New York, that's going to go... I'm going to put that there. Zappa in New York is a live record. It has a few notable ones. Most notably to me is The Black Page. It's alright. It's a good record, but not my favorite from the Zappa discography, but I do return to it every once in a while. Studio Tan is gonna go there. Just really doesn't work with me. It just doesn't gel with me. I believe Gregory Peccary's on that, which I'm not a huge fan of. Next is Shut Up and Play Your Guitar, which is 3 records of just solos. It's good though. I'm gonna put it like down there. Guitar is the same thing, pretty much. Just not as many records. Broadway to Hard Way, I'm just gonna put that there. I don't listen to that. I haven't listened to that. Bulla's Zappa, not no. Yeah, I just haven't heard those. Them or Us. I don't think I've heard that entire thing. And last but not least is Ship Arriving Too Late to Save a Drowning Witch, which I don't dig that much. I'm gonna put. I returned to it for a few songs, but outside of the title track, um, no, that honestly might be it. The title track might be the only thing I listened to on that record. But it's a very good title track. Yeah, that's about it. That's the record with Valley Girl, which was Zappa's biggest hit, and I don't dig it at all. I really don't dig that record. I don't dig that song either. Very just annoying song, you know. Valley Girl, she's a Valley Girl. Yeah, just not that good to me. So there you go. The S tiers is the stuff I think you should listen to. If I had to pick like which ones you should start with out of the S tier, I'm gonna say Overnight Sensation, Roxy and Elsewhere, Apostrophe. And I'll say One Size Fits All as well. Joe's Garage is also up there, but it's a long one. Be ready for it. Um, so yeah, there we go. First tier list done. I know that was a long one. So let's do another one. I think this one would be fun because who doesn't love the Beatles? Um, who doesn't love the Beatles? Who doesn't? Um, might as well. This was the first band I ever got into, believe it or not. Yeah, I love their music. I don't think they have a bad album either. So let's start. Abbey Road. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go S tier on Abbey Road. I could see it dipping down to A maybe, but there's some songs on there that are just so good. The entire medley at the end of side two, um, Want You, She's So Heavy, something. Even like Octopus's Garden, which I know a lot of people joke about, but it is a genuinely good song. The guitar in that's great. Um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with S tier on that. Um, Beatles for Sale. I'm gonna go B tier. It's good. I really like it, but it's just kind of B tier. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna put it there. Same with Hard Day's Night. Though I do like Hard Day's Night a bit more. So, Hard Day's Night's got some really good stuff on it. Of course, the title track, or Should Have Known Better. If I Fell, I believe is on there. I love that. Um, I'm gonna put Help a bit above that. There's just certain stuff I like on that a bit more. Um, I Need You sticks out as just one of my favorites. The title track, The Night Before. I like that stuff, but by the end, it just kind of becomes like covers, like Dizzy Miss Lizzy. I don't like Yesterday that much. That's just not like one of my favorites. Um, I do like it though. S tier. I'm gonna say it's above, which I know is a super controversial take, but Let It Be is one of the most underrated things the Beatles have ever done. Like genuinely. Let It Be is like, I know people don't dig the production, but I couldn't ask for anything better. It was Phil Spector, which yeah, it's Phil Spector. But I really think Let It Be deserves like a appraisal from people because it is that good of a record. It's not great in the same way something like Abbey Road or Revolver is, but it's very good and very consistent. Um, so I'm gonna put it there. That's where I think Let It Be deserves to be. I'm gonna just out of my own personal enjoyment, I go more for that than Abbey Road. Uh, Magical Mystery is an A. I really love that record. Some stuff is a little wonky, but I really like it. Flying, Blue Jay Way, I Am the Walrus, Baby You're a Rich Man. There's a lot on that record to be adored. Strawberry Fields, man, it's a great record. Uh, 60s Spectre is great. It really is. It really, really is. A great producer, and then he killed some, then all that happened. Definitely a more than a blemish on his reputation. But he was a very great producer. What he did with the wall of sound is like amazing. It's still amazing to me. But bad person. Please please me. I'm gonna put that at A tier. I really love a lot of that record. Um, Chains and A Taste of Honey's grown on me over time. Yeah, I think it's a pretty great record. It's a really good debut, um, and they would only evolve from there. Revolver A tier. I'm gonna put it above Abbey Road. Um, I think it's like Revolver's just one of those records that everybody has to hear. All of these records are records everybody has to hear, but Revolver sticks out as just amazing for the time. It was 1966, and they were doing things like doing backwards guitars on "I'm Only Sleeping" and the whole drum loop on "Tomorrow Never Knows." Ahead of its time, you know. I'm gonna put Rubber Soul. I'm gonna put Rubber Soul there. I think those are about tied. Rubber Soul and Please Please Me. Very, very good, but it's not my favorite of the 60s. I like what Revolver does just a bit more. You can see them starting to experiment on that on Rubber Soul more though. I think just Revolver is a better record. Um, Sergeant Pepper I think just gets the S tier just for legacy, like just how influential of a record that is. Uh, for that time too. Uh, Not my favorite of the records, but yeah, just influential and yeah, it's a great piece of psychedelic rock. White Album, I'm gonna put out of my enjoyment. I bel I'm gonna put it as my favorite. My favorites always change between like Let It Be, Revolver, and White Album. But White Album, while not always like the most perfect record, is so full of variety that I love hearing it. It's stuff like Revolution 9. Uh, you wouldn't hear another Beatles record with Revolution 9 and Oobla Doobla Da, or Bungalow Bill and Everybody's Got Something to Hide and Sexy Sadie. I love the just the variety of that record, and while it always doesn't land, I think it's just a fun listen. Um, with the Beatles is probably going to be there. Um, it's not bad. I just don't return to it much. Um, it's good though. And Yellow Submarine, I'm gonna put it there. Um, the B side orchestral stuff is cool, but it's not my favorite. But the first side with songs, the exclusive songs on there are some of my all-time favorites. Um, on the You had like Only a Northern Song, which I love, which is a George song. All Together Now I like. Hey Bulldog's a great little song, and It's All Too Much is one of my favorite Beatles songs. It's probably my second favorite. Um, Super underrated for that band. My all-time favorite is For No One from Revolver. It's my all-time like not my all-time favorite song. It's my second all-time favorite song. But yeah, For No One is just perfect. But It's All Too Much is just a great piece of psychedelic. Yeah, just great piece of psychedelic rock with the feedback and stuff. It's a great George song. Um, I'm gonna do like maybe I'm gonna do one more because I've been streaming for about an hour now. I didn't plan to do this too long. Let's see what would be a fun one to rank. That's not super long. I really did like an hour of like Zappa, 45 minutes of Zappa. Um, I don't know. I'm thinking I've done a Pink Floyd one before, and that's up on my channel. Um, well, I gotta type something back to somebody. Ramones. I'm not super in the I'm it's not super into the Ramones. I've only heard like maybe two records. The debut in Rocket to Russia I've heard some stuff later on, just songs. I like those, but I'm not a huge fan of them. So I don't think I couldn't do like a good list for that. Um, I think I'm gonna go. Let's see if they have. I was talking about Modest Mouse earlier. I'll do a Modest Mouse tier list, and Anthony Fantano just did one, so I'll do it. I love Modest Mouse. One of my all-time favorite bands. My favorite band from the '90s. For sure. Like, I love everything about Modest Mouse. Um, so this is going to be interesting. It has the EPs too. So let's start. No One's First and You're Next is an S tier. Songs like King Rat, Whale Song, um, Satellite Skin, Autumn Beds. How did I forget Autumn Beds? It that I don't think there's a bad song on that record. Um, it's a really really good EP. Um, I've got it almost too. That was yeah. That song's just like that good. I love that song. Strangers to Ourselves is a B tier. This is the last record they put out. I don't know if it's the they haven't done much since then. I wish they did. Um, I dig it. I don't think all of it though. Pistol sticks out. It's just eh. Wicked Campaign doesn't stick with me either, but there's a lot of really good stuff on that record. Ansel is one of my all-time favorite songs. Sugar Boats is cool. Pups to Dust. Shit in Your Cut. Lampshades on Fire. The opener. Uh, yeah, I love that. A lot of stuff on there is really good. There's certain songs that are just kind of blemishes. Best Room though. Best Room's on there too. Interstate 8. That's gonna go there. I like Interstate 8 and Sleepwalking. All Night Diner doesn't stick out to me, and the rest of it's kind of a live thing. Yeah. I'm gonna put Fruit that Ate Itself down there too. Um, these aren't bad. I just don't revisit them a lot. These two. Lonesome Crowded West, S tier. It's not my favorite, though I think it is a defining piece for them. Lonesome Crowded is just a great record that everybody should hear. Opening with Teeth Like God's Shoe Shine, which is just a punch to the gut. What an opener that is. That's how you know you're in for a good record when it starts with something like that. Heart Cook's Brain, Convenient Parking, Lounge, Jesus Christ Was an Only Child. Like, literally every song on that record is great. Um, yeah, it's fantastic. What a great record. Um, Moon in Antarctica is my all-time favorite Modest Mouse record, and I was upset that Anthony Fantano put it in B. No, I wasn't upset. I jokingly upset. But no, seriously, that is Moon in Antarctica is just perfect. I mean, that is like the most haunting Modest Mouse record I've heard. Um, Kind of in a scary way, but just it resonates with me. It's dark and weird and just kind of dreamy. Songs like Life Like Weeds are just like hauntingly dreamlike. You know, with the whole refrain of like in this life like weeds, you're a rock to me. It just that whole song is just weird, and the same with like Gravity Rides Everything, and it's really just dreamy, and I love it. It feels like a dream that's going in and out of a nightmare. With like you can hear it on the first track too, which is Third Planet, where it's like it's talking about like baby come angels that are flying around. It's it's just like how we're planets and it's really really cool. It's such a great song, and all of that record's like that, where it's just hard to understand it, but it's great. Um, I love that record too much. This one shouldn't even count. Building Nothing Out of Something. It's a compilation of stuff on singles and APs and stuff. I'm not going to count it. Interstate 8 stuff appears on there, so yeah, I'm not going to count it. Sad Sappy Sucker does not stick with me at all. I couldn't tell you anything from that. Was Blue Cadet 3 on there? That was also a single. I think it was just a compilation of stuff that wasn't released, or at least widely released. So I don't know. I'm gonna put it there. Um, yeah, I don't it just doesn't sit with me. Um, Everywhere and his nasty parlor tricks. I'm gonna go there. It's all right. I don't return to it much, but it's good. Good news for people who love bad news. Um, that's an S tier. Um, yeah, I'm gonna put it there. Um, that's where "Float On" comes from, which is the song every person knows from Honest Mouse. But other stuff on Blame It on the Tetons, Black Cadillacs, One Chance, Good Times Are Killing Me, uh, Ocean Brief Salty, uh, Bury Me With It. Yeah, there's a lot of great songs on that, and it's a perfect record, and probably the best record from 2004. I don't know what else came out 2004. I don't think Demon Days came out 2004. Uh, we're, we Were Dead Before the Ship Even Sank. That's going down there. I don't dig that record much. It's much more dancey, and while some songs stick out to me as fantastic, Little Motel is one of my favorites, but it just outside of that, there's not much that sticks with me. Missed the Boat and Dashboard are good too. Yeah, it just doesn't stick with me. Oh, the title track on that too is also really good. But outside of that, though, doesn't stick with me. Um, you know what? I'm gonna move that up to A. I'm gonna put this in B tier. This is the debut called "This Is a Long Drive." It's a good record, their debut, but it's not my favorite. Dramamine is on there. Space Travel is Boring's on there. What was the other one? Talking Shit About a Pretty Sunset. Yeah, it's got some really good songs. Custom Concern. But outside of that, I just don't really come back to it. Night on the Sun is genuinely one of their best releases. Uh, it's very, very good. It's a very, very good EP. Um, yeah, go check it out. I love it. And it's got Night on the Sun, which is one of my favorites. Though Everywhere in This Nasty Parlor Chicks also had it, though it was a shorter version. Go look for Night on the Sun. Um, Look for that 9-minute mix. It's amazing. And last is Baron Bon Bullshit. Yeah, that's a live record. I'm gonna put it I'm gonna put it there. Baron Von Bullshit. It's a decent live record. And that's all I got. So that's the Modest Mouse tier list. That's relatively fast. All right, I think I'm gonna end it there for now. Maybe I'll do more tier lists in the future. Hopefully everyone's doing all right in these times and things. Winter is here. Winter's crazy, isn't it? Well, I live in Illinois, and it is like we've had like a foot and a half of snow. It's horrible. Though today was warmer. The other day we had power go out, and it was just nasty, man. I'm trying to stay all right, you know. The winter's just kind of weird. Don't call me mid. Don't call me mid. I hope everyone's doing all right. You're mid, Ash. Make a video. Make a video, dude. Make a video. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing all right. Winters suck. I hate winters, just mentally and just in general. So I hope everyone's doing all right. I'm working on 3 videos right now. Um, there's one that's probably going to be out first, which is about a rock opera I love with all my heart, from 1974. You could probably guess what it is. If you look on my Twitter, you should be able to find sneak peeks of it. I'll talk about my Twitter in a second, but Uh, yeah, I love that record. The second video I'm working on is a review for an album that I feel will get me crucified if I put it out, but I don't know. And then last is about a soundtrack to a show I really, really love. And I have that pretty much scripted, but I'm gonna rewrite some parts of it. These should be coming out in the next few months. Uh, the the rock opera video should be coming out next month in March. I'm not sure when though. I already got to start on it, but go follow my Twitter if you want sneak peeks on stuff. I'm gonna try and post screenshots of what I'm working with. Because I kind of like the direction this video is heading. It's supposed to replicate the stage setup for this band from the tour for that record. So if you know the live setup, you'll kind of know how the visuals are set up for it, and it'll break away from that for certain things as well. So I'm excited for it. I also have a series I'm working on, but that'll probably that'll take a while. It's genuinely gonna take a while. So yeah, hopefully everyone's doing all right. I'm gonna try and stream more. That's it. Stay safe in the winter. Bye bye.